Welcome back to Rostin, and welcome back to another short video. This is crazy. What am I doing? This is literally an on-the-fly idea. Who would have thought? I wanted to talk about Modern Fire Emblem. Listen, I was playing Engage again the other night because I was like at the very end of the game. Granted, I still haven't beat the game. I have a playthrough that has like 120 hours on it. I've never beat the game. Granted, probably like 2/3 of that time are like sleepy time hours where I'm playing in bed. I literally am in the freaking somnial, like forging a weapon, and then I'm asleep. And then I wake up and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna forge this weapon. And I don't make it out of the somnial, you know? Or trying to min-max my inventories, my skills, my freaking bond level. I don't even know. Polishing my ring, dude. Literally, my roommate saw me play this game because he wanted to see what Fire Emblem was. He's heard me talk about it a lot. He's like, let me see this game. And I'm like, it's not good. And I'm literally in the last chapter. And you know what I was playing last night? Literally last night in bed, I fell asleep playing this game, polishing rings. And he's like, what? So I open up the game and I finish polishing the rings. He's screaming at me. Why are you even doing this? Just go beat the last freaking chapter. And I'm like, you don't understand. You don't understand. My OCD brain will not let me leave these rings unpolished. Now that I remember that this is a thing, I have to do it. So that's what I did. And then I entered a skirmish battle and he was yelling at me, and I got Vale killed. So anyway, then he was just saying how bad I was at this game. He's like, I guess you're not very good at this game. It's kind of, you talk about it a lot. So it made me mad. All right, my ego was crushed because I feel like I'm okay at the game. You guys tell me, am I okay at Fire Emblem? Maybe I'm not. Maybe I think I'm hot shit and I'm just not. But this got me thinking, this is that new Fire Emblem. This is that new. I'm a freaking GBA Fire Emblem lover. 3DS is even good, but that's kind of pushing it, man. These skills, these ROM hacks, like with the skills and the supports and the pairings and all those things, it's kind of like, am I old? Is that what it is? Am I just like a smooth brain, like freaking, I don't even know, elder gamer? Like I barely even game anymore. Is this what aging is? Am I falling off? Oh my god. So anyway, I want to talk about modern I almost said Modern Warfare. Modern Fire Emblem, because there's a lot that I don't like about it, but I love that it's still here. Don't get me wrong. I guess this might be just a Engage kind of shit fest, which maybe we'll do a new like separate video on that specifically for Engage, but this even goes for Three Houses a little bit. And my biggest problem with Modern Fire Emblem is how much freaking crap is in the game. And that's what I think a lot of the new Fire Emblem fans enjoy, is all of these things. I've heard it compared to Persona 5 a lot, where you're kind of running around doing all these little things. I've never played Persona. I wouldn't know. But like in Three Houses, you have the monastery, right? You've got all of these little different side things you can do. Waste your time in between battles. Act like you're freaking, I don't even know what kind of simulator you're in, but you've got fishing. You've got the cafeteria. You've got the garden. You've got the shrines. You've got the choir. You've got, I don't even remember everything. There's more there, and there are these little side quests, these little fetch quests. There are auxiliary battles, which, you know, I guess I get that. That makes sense. There's all these items you can get. How is it that you get like stones and stuff? I forget, but there's fishing for like that, and there's you go out and buy the auxiliary battles is how you get more meat. And so then you can cook. That's another one in the cafeteria. You can eat in the cafeteria and you can cook in the cafeteria. God, and there's probably more. There's probably freaking more that I don't even remember because it's just insane to me, right? And there's trainings and there's supports and there is all of these things to kind of get you to wield better weapons or different weapons, and that's how you become signed off into different classes. And it's kind of a lot, and that's not even getting into any of the skills in the game. There's 1,000 skills you can learn, and you can trade around and min-max. You can go into this class and then they could jump into this class mastery skill. You get a skill for mastering this class, which is, X amount of points. You basically have to like fight a bunch in one class and then change to another class, and then you can master another class. All of these things depend on what your weapon levels are to get into the class. You can pass if they're not quite there, but there's not a guaranteed chance. This music is too intense. Maybe this is me right now. I'm raging inside. So anyway, all of this stuff is kind of the thing I don't like about Modern Fire Emblem. Not to mention there's the armory and there's the smithy and there's the vendor. Those things aren't really as much. There's the black market or whatever. The in Three Houses, I forget what you call it. The secret shop, I guess. But the one that kind of grinds my gears, right, is the smithies. And there are these little tiny side. They're not. What are they, like materials that you can get somehow from there's like DLC stuff. Oh my god, there's so many random things. Oh, then there's tea time. Don't forget tea time. All to increase bonds with different characters and fast forward through supports, And then there are these supports themselves. They are long, they are fun, but sometimes when you have like 6 supports to read through in between one chapter, you're like, okay, this is kind of getting to be a little excessive for me right now. I just kind of want to get into the next chapter, but you also can't lose out on like the support. You got to do it ASAP, otherwise you don't get any benefits yet, right? So I guess needless to say, almost all of that stuff and more made it into Engage. I feel like there's less stuff you have to do for the gameplay benefits, but there's more stuff you can do optionally, which to me is just kind of like too much thought and resources went into those rather than the actual core game, which maybe is a telling for why the game was received so badly, because the game was bad, the story was rough, the voice acting was actually good. Like the main Alir guy, I think he did a pretty good job. The writing was just shit. And then the story in general, and I guess that's the writing, but there are a lot of like tropes and kind of like cringe anime factors to it that I'm not really like, because Three Houses was more like dark and gritty and holistic, kind of grounded more in that. And then God, I forgot the name. Not Echoes. Engage was more like Fate's writing, like Avatar worship, bow to the chosen one. You're so sick and cool. I love you. I want to kiss you on the cheek. And that's just like that's not realistic, right? That's just too much. I feel like we've seen this before. I feel like, why? So back to what I'm saying. There are too many things going on, and the skills, you have the skills and you go crazy, right? There's you're min-maxing builds, and at this point it's whoever can, like, I don't know, nerd out the hardest on the best skill combination, which I guess is, there's something to be said about that. But I just kind of miss old school, like actual in-game tactics and using those tools rather than OP skills and like unit building, if that makes sense. Because then that's like a whole overthink outside of the gameplay that I have a trouble navigating, just because that's, I guess, how my brain works, and I go crazy and I'm like paralyzed by all of these different builds. So that's where I start to lose it on the Modern Fire Emblem. I just spend way too much time thinking, not enough time playing, which I guess is why it's good or bad for my sleep, because it's kind of what I play when I go to sleep. Because I haven't finished Engage yet, and it's been like, what, a year? 2 years now, actually. So I was playing that skirmish battle in Engage yesterday, and I'm like starting my turn, and in like 3 or 4 of my characters blink, and like these different skills are activating, and I have no idea what any of them are. Partially because I haven't played in 6 months or more than that, actually. Partially because there's just so much going on, and I'm not sure what is happening. Because you have your, you know, personal skill, right? You've got your class skills, you've got your engage skills, you've got your chosen bond skills. I don't know if you have an even class skill, I'm making that one up. But you choose all these other skills, especially based on your bond with the other avatars. What are they called? Emblems. So you can really start building some crazy stuff. But then I'm like, yeah, I don't remember what all this does. Basically, I guess maybe some of my problems can be solved with like, don't play the game after you haven't played it for almost a year. That could help. But I kind of just wanted to complain about Modern Fire Emblem and kind of reflect on how simple and easy the game I fell in love with was, which was the GBA era. FE7 and FE8, Sacred Stones and Blazing Sword or Blazing Blade or whatever. There were invisible skills in FE7. There was only like 2, right? There was like Assassinate, and was there even any others? And then there were only like a handful in Sacred Stones, and they were all class specific. So you know what you're going to go up against, and you know roughly what you're going to get. Now you can make the argument I'm trying to say I don't like Onderon Saga and Rebellion Saga and some of these other hacks with the crazy abilities and skills, which to a point that's true, but I do like that there's usually a limit to the chaos that kind of comes in, which is true for Modern Fire Emblems too. There's a skill limit and everything, but with all the supports and all those extra tasks and all these other ways to min-max your builds and characters and armies and weapons and all that, it just is kind of too much. Handful of skills and easy ways to go about getting them is fine. It's still a lot, but that for me is still fun because it's also in an engine that I love too, the GPA engine. Even FE10 and FE9 with those skills, there's kind of a, and even Awakening and through the 3DS era was kind of a lot, but it was manageable, and you could, again, they were all very class-based, and a lot of them were repeating through the franchise, like Soul and Astra and, you know, those things. What are the ones in Awakening? There's like Aegis and some of those ones that, you know, you can kind of see again and be like, okay, I remember that. It's like half your resist magic damage or, you know, whatever the hell it is. So I don't even remember. So it's probably a moot point. But yeah. I guess that's kind of the end of the rant, I think. Short and abrupt. But hopefully maybe you understand where I'm coming from. And that's maybe why we like GBA Fire Emblem. I know if you're watching this, it's not totally your view, but here on this channel, we do a lot of GBA Fire Emblem, and I don't want to branch out, but that's my bread and butter right there. Man, do I love it. If you want to see an Engage playthrough, let me know. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. Just like I said in my last video, I'm kind of trying to focus on some other stuff right now, but I do love me some Fire Emblem, and I don't think I'll ever abandon this channel fully, so at least anytime in the near future. So I appreciate you so much for watching this, and yeah, all that being said, Three Houses is one of my top favorite Fire Emblems. You can kind of, I found a way to like kind of cheese through the monastery and hit the points, hit all the right beats that you need to kind of excel forward and not waste half an hour in the monastery every single time, you know. So it's not to say that they're bad games or I hate them. It's just a little bit of a disconnect there that a lot of new fans appreciate and seem to be attracted to versus myself and probably a good amount of the other old school Fire Emblem fans out there. So let me know what you think. Am I the only one who hates some of those things like the monastery, the free roam, and the Somniel? Let me know your thoughts and your opinions, and I'll see you later. Appreciate you.